Okay, let's get right into it. So you found a house you absolutely love. Your offer got accepted. Amazing. But now comes one of the most nerve-wracking parts of the whole journey, especially for a first-time buyer, the home inspection. We're going to break down exactly what this is, what you really need to pay attention to, and how to handle it like you've done it a dozen times before.
And hey, if you're feeling nervous, that is completely normal. I get it. This one step can feel like this huge make-or-break test. But I promise you, by the end of this little explainer, you're going to see it less as a scary hurdle and more as one of your best tools for buying a home. So, let's do this.
First things first, let's just reframe this whole event. A home inspection is not a pass-fail exam. It's not about the house getting a good grade or a bad grade. Think of it more like your first, really in-depth orientation to your potential new home. It's your chance to learn all its secrets, the good, the bad, and the quirky, long before the keys are in your hand. Now, the good news is you're not in this alone. Not by a long shot. A huge chunk of the logistical headache is actually handled by your real estate agent. Seriously, they become your project manager for this whole thing, taking care of the details so you can focus on the big picture.
When you boil it all down, your agent's role here really comes down to these three key things. They get the inspection on the calendar, they make sure you get that report, and then they step in to handle any of the back and forth that might happen afterwards. See? It's a pretty clean process.
So let's dig into that just a little bit more. Your agent is going to schedule this with a certified, licensed inspector, a total pro. Then after the inspection's done, you'll get this super detailed written report, usually packed with photos that shows you everything they found. And this is the big one. If some major issues do pop up, your agent is the one who goes to bat for you, negotiating for repairs, or maybe even credits from the seller.
Okay, so if your agent is juggling all the logistics, what's your job in all of this? It's actually pretty simple. Your job is to focus. That inspection report is going to be long, maybe dozens of pages, and it's so easy to get lost in the weeds. Your mission is to cut through the noise and zero in on the stuff that really, truly matters. And this is it. This is the main takeaway. You've got to ignore the little cosmetic things for a minute, because the true health of a house, the real story, is in its major systems. That's where your attention needs to be, 100%.
And here they are, the big five. These are the heavy hitters, the things that can be a real pain and really expensive to fix or replace down the line. We're talking about the roof, the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical system, and the HVAC, your heating and air conditioning. These are the things that make a house a safe, solid, and smart investment.
So here's a super important distinction. Things like a chip in the paint, or a scuff mark on the floor, or a light fixture you don't like, those aren't really inspection issues. Why? Because you saw all that when you first walked through the house. The inspection negotiation, that's reserved for the big, significant problems that nobody knew about until now.
All right, so what happens if the inspector does find something? A leaky pipe, an ancient water heater, maybe a little foundation issue. First of all, just take a deep breath. Do not panic. This is so normal. Honestly, having another round of negotiations after the inspection is a standard part of the process. And listen, don't just take it from me. Here's a quote straight from the experts. It's common to negotiate after inspections. Don't panic if requests are made. See? This is not a sign the deal is dead. It's actually a sign that the process is working just like it's supposed to. It's protecting you. So, we've covered what your agent handles, and we've covered what you should focus on in that big report. But there is one single thing you can do that is more important than anything else. It's the one thing that will help you get the absolute most out of your home inspection. And this piece of advice, it comes straight from the pros, from the real estate agents and inspectors who are in the trenches guiding people through this every single day. It's the one thing they all say can completely change your entire perspective on your potential new home. And here it is, the #1 pro tip: show up. If at all possible, be there for your inspection. Yeah, it might mean taking a few hours off work, but I'm telling you, it is the single best investment of your time you can make during this whole process. So why is it so important? Because it's your chance to see the house through an expert's eyes. You can walk around with them, ask questions right on the spot. You can see what they're seeing. It turns that flat, boring report into a real, hands-on lesson about the home you're about to own. It's an absolutely priceless education. So, you see, the inspection isn't a test you have to be afraid of. It's a lesson you get to learn. By focusing on the big stuff and by showing up ready to learn, you turn a moment of anxiety into an act of empowerment. So, you've cleared the inspection hurdle. What's the next step on your journey home?